What's up? Back at it again. Despite a little bit of a mishap, I broke my light, so we're gonna have to make do with this garage light. It's just one little light, and then my headlamp. We'll kind of see what we can do, and lighting probably won't be that great. Anyways, we're gonna be working on the DeatschWerks DW100. 165 liters an hour, 40 psi. Fuel pump install today, and hopefully get to the 700cc DeatschWerks injectors as well, to be able to increase some power on the 1.8 Miata. So we'll get right into it. Should be interesting. Hopefully it's not too bad. Again, kind of poor lighting, but it is what it is, you know. So what we're going to be doing first, we got to remove the carpet, and I do have a roll bar that's kind of in the way a little bit, but I'm not going to take the roll bar out just to work on the fuel pump. There's a few just push clips in here. Pop those out. I might have to lift my soft top up and out of the way just so I can get this carpet folded off to the back enough. And there's some 10mm bolts that takes the steel plate off of here. And then a couple more 10mm bolts to pull the top of the gas tank off, which pulls the fuel pump assembly out as one whole unit. And I just have enough room here to be able to do that. So that's what we're going to do. So when you pull this cover off, just be careful. It is very thin, it's very sharp. If you're not careful, it can slice you up pretty quick. I've had it happen before. So now that we got the fuel system kind of opened up, what we're gonna do is disconnect your plug here. I already have the battery all disconnected and everything. Take your plug out, you got your high pressure and your return. What you're going to do before pulling those lines off, make sure you take your gas cap off. Kind of relieves some of the pressure in the actual tank. And this hopefully won't leak everywhere. We'll still shove some rags down here just to be safe in case it does leak a little bit. It really shouldn't. And maybe I'll take the vacuum to this again. Kind of vacuum up any loose, dusty, dirty stuff that's floating around in here. So yeah, we'll get right to it. Again, just little Phillips head screwdriver screws in here holding this together. So yeah, we're going to pull that plate out and then the fuel assembly comes out. This is the old pump over here. This whole thing. Now I got to match the overall length with the new pump with the new hose. So the motor and everything is basically the same length, almost identical, maybe just a hair longer total length. So I basically have to just match this line that goes up on the top of your fuel pump to the OEM, and it should be just fine. It should slide on. There should be plenty of room for it to slide on here on the feed line. It comes with a new power plug and everything that you'd have to wire in. I did that on my OEM, so I don't have a whole lot of miles on this, and it should be okay to just reuse that. It's the same thing. It's identical. As long as it's not all full of crud in your prongs in here, which mine is good, it should be good to go. I'm not going to mess with trying to rewire this whole thing right now because it's all clean. It's all set to go from last fall. So anyways, what we'll do here, try and keep all your covers and plugs on any of the holes to keep debris out until you have everything together and ready to go in. So we'll put that right back on for right now. Kind of just see size wise based off of the OEM here. Double check it a few times. There's a little bit of an angle cut on this side, so I'm going to go with the other side that's flat here. use my fingers, line it up with my thumb, take my cutter, make sure it's clean so nothing goes inside of that piece of rubber. Just give her a cut. Here's the time lapse of me finishing up the fuel pump before I put it back into the car. Alright. I've done it before, but it's been a while. Alright, this little thing. Stick that right on the little peg. Get in there. You gotta be kidding me. You probably couldn't hear that on camera, but it went plink, 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 all the way down on the floor behind the toolbox. Let's just use the old one. It should be okay. A little more careful with this one this time. Make sure it doesn't. Oh, it fell off. So I gotta try and find the new one underneath the toolbox. That's gonna be tricky. Well, good news. I found it on the floor. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see, but we got it all installed. We got all the carpet back in place. Fuel pump is ready to go. Now I got to move on to the injectors, but we should have plenty of fuel going to the fuel injectors now. These should be like plug and play. The plugs look identical. But one thing I'm kind of looking at here is overall length. So it is a little bit different. These ones have this up top. The top is actually good, but the bottom doesn't look the same, which I'm wondering if that's going to be a big deal, if it's supposed to sit like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because that seems kind of funny here. Probably can't see it. What I'm looking at here is the tip length is different, like quite a bit. OEM, aftermarket DeatschWerks. I'm wondering if that's going to be a big problem. I don't know that I like that. As long as it sits in here, it should be okay. Let's pop one of these spacers off. Really tight. Doesn't want to come off. I don't like that. At least this one is soft and squishy, so I think we'll be okay. We'll just make sure my fingers are clean here. We'll lubricate them as we take them out here. I'm gonna get the O-rings lubed up and this bottom here just a little bit so it seals really well. I had the fuel rail all disconnected, as you could see in the previous clip. Swapped out all the injectors. The injector height and length all matched based off of how it fit in here. So everything was correct. And now I can move on to the next portion of the project. Thanks for watching another episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe.